everyone. Welcome to a brand new weekly reading. Today I am live. We are back live, and I am coming to you live from Jupiter, Florida, at my dear friends' home, Leslie and Stefan Levine. And it's been so great to just hang out with them, enjoy their energy and their beautiful sacred home and space, and the beautiful energy of Jupiter, Florida, as I connect here and just enjoy a little vacay time. And of course, that would never keep me from these weekly readings, so I'm right here for you live, as always, 1:11 p.m. Central Time for a brand new weekly reading. So go ahead and let me know where you're joining from and how you're all doing today. Super excited to be able to do another live. Anytime I'm traveling, I'll always be doing the live readings. So this is really fun for me to still jump in live whenever I get a chance, if I'm ever out of town or just in some cool, beautiful areas. So I'm super excited to share this beautiful location that I'm in today. And then next week, I will most likely be pre-recorded again for our reading, but then the week after that and the week after that, for the 2 weeks into the new year, I will be in Indiana and Illinois, so I'll be joining live from there. So lots of fun travel to come and lots of new places to connect to as I do so. Super fun to always bring in new energy from different places and be able to feel into the vibrations of different places and notice how the energy is translating all of the things that we're going through. So really fun. Let me know who's joining and how you're doing. We've got Gaten vibing in from the Mojave Valley, Arizona. Good to see you. Kayla's here. Good to see you, love. So happy to see all of you. I know it's been a little while. We haven't been able to connect live, but I've been on the live chats during the pre-recorded readings, and it's been so fun. And check out how beautiful nature is behind me. Feel free to watch the birds and the squirrels and all the beautiful nature elements behind me as I do this reading. Today we are covering 12/13/2020 all the way to 12/20/2020. So lots of good energy to cover today, lots of big things to talk about. And of course, we're going to jump right in. But first, we always like to do a little review of last week's cards, just to get a nice idea of the energy that we're moving in so that we can prepare for the energy we're moving into. So the first card last week that I pulled is the Nature card. This was all about accepting your connection to nature and your natural self, also allowing yourself to connect more with nature, the outside world, wildlife, in order to activate more of your natural self and your natural intuition. Then in the middle of the week, we had the Soul Solitude card, which was letting us know that it was time to take a little retreat within ourselves, a little time to ourselves, a little peace and quiet, a little reflection time, so that we can really get into a nice, calm energy and reflection so we can move into the next stuff without feeling too chaotic or stressed or just not fully in self-care and balance. And then we got that message drilled home even more for the weekend card, which was the Hermit card, letting us know that the soul solitude from the middle of the week would really help us activate this sense of wisdom and magic as a result of self-isolation and inner wisdom and going within in order to find the answers. So that Hermit card is where we're at right now. So hopefully all of you are getting some time alone. You're getting some time to reflect and be within yourself and meditate and kind of feel into what your next moves are and what's best for you and where you're at in your life so that you can feel really prepared for this new year. And a lot of that energy is really still carrying on into this new week. So let's go ahead and dive into the spirit messages of this week. This is going to be covering all of this energy that we've been feeling from 12/13 to 12/20/2020, one of the last weeks of 2020. So this is pretty powerful that we're stepping right into this energy, and we've got a lot to talk about. So for those of you who are just joining and have never seen one of my weekly readings, welcome. I am Rissa, aka Readings by Rissa, and I activate spiritual intuitive gifts of everyone who's curious about their enlightenment path and who wants to find out more about the energy that is always around us that we can translate into clear direction and guidance for our highest good and the good of all. And I do that through my weekly readings. I do that through personal private readings virtually. I do that also in my intuitive development coaching courses and programs, and several other events for star seeds and manifestation and cacao ceremonies and so many other things that I bring forth. And I'm super excited to jump into the messages for this week. So let's start with the spirit messages. And these are the messages I receive from my downloads, my meditations, my mass collective readings, and any other, kind of direct guidance that I get from my guides on what we're going to be stepping into. So as you listen to these messages, make sure to comment on what resonates with you. Feel free to create a conversation around it and just enjoy the vibration. All right, so the first message that I was getting about this week is that there is a sense of pressure. Everybody's under a certain kind of pressure. It's the end of the year. We're wanting to get a lot of things done. We're wanting to get things ready for next year. We're wanting to, prove ourselves in a lot of ways to ourselves and to others. This is where we really start to feel what's coming next. And the energy of what's coming next ends up building a pressure to do something about it or do something with it. And right now, I'm really feeling that this pressure is not necessarily meant to be resolved right away or fixed or necessarily even, cleared. It's more so just a pressure that has to be tolerated for now until the rest of the energy fills in, until the rest of the energy fully develops for us to move forward and do something. Now, I know I spoke about this last week and even maybe the week before in a little bit of detail, but really this is about figuring out the undertones of tension and knowing that it's okay to have a little pressure, to have a little tension, to have a little fire that's under you to bring you into more movement and drive forward. And this is really the purpose of why I titled this reading Fiery Fresh Starts, because we have a new moon in Sagittarius this week, actually tomorrow, and we're going to feel the sense of fire from the Sagittarius energy, and it's all about progressive movement forward. But the Sagittarius also sometimes can get a little overzealous in its energy and create tension or pressure that's unneeded. So it's about really recognizing what are the undertones of the tension and pressure you're feeling. Is there any pressure that you're putting on yourself that is in excess or is unneeded or just isn't really in alignment? And how can you release that? What can you do to kind of clear that? What can you say to yourself? What can you affirm for yourself? But also knowing that some of the pressure that is actually out of your control is necessary. It's a necessary pressure to get you to move and to reflect or to heal or to cleanse yourself, whatever it may be that it's kind of the undertones are trying to tell you. So feel into the undertones of the pressure you're feeling. Notice if it's something that applies to doing more, because there's a lot of energy of this kind of need to do more. And some of us, we feel like we have to do more things in order to prove ourselves or to be successful or to, cleanse ourselves or activate ourselves, whatever it is we're trying to do. But really, the pressure is actually to go inward. We may confuse it sometimes with a need to go outward and to do, or to act on it or to express it. But actually that pressure is sometimes best resolved when we just go internally and we ask our guides for the answers, when we meditate, when we get our mind clear, when we slow down, when we allow ourselves to just kind of settle into the present moment instead of this need to act on every sense of pressure or every sense of energy that feels just overwhelming. It's about just going inward and taking it a little slower. So if you're under pressure, take it a little slow, recognize the undertones, feel into the depths and the roots of the pressure, notice where the pressure is coming from and if there's any excess pressure where it doesn't need to be. And then the pressure that you can't control, just allow yourself to go inward for the answers and know that it's okay to feel that pressure and that it will go away when the time comes for you to actually move out of it, okay? Now, the next message is about how we have slowly moved through the energy of the last 2 months, because as we approach the end of the year, we have a big conjunction with Jupiter and Saturn, and we actually have a huge planetary alignment called the Carrington event, which is going to be really, really big, and it's going to happen next week. So we're going to talk about that the day before it happens, and it's going to be a really powerful experience. So let's talk a little bit about how we've moved into where we're at right now. First of all, we started with our sense of being able to reflect and to get into a place of understanding of ourselves and to see beyond the veil when we were in October, when the thinning of the veil happened and everything was feeling really heightened intuitively, and we were able to see the bigger picture, see the kind of hidden truths, and allow ourselves to use our intuition to reflect on that. And then in November, we were called to kind of clear away what we didn't want to bring into the new year. We were called to seize the moment of things that we were feeling really inspired to act on right away. We were encouraged to redirect energy with all of those retrogrades that we were in. And then now in December, it's all about, we've done that work. Now December is about following our intuition on the path that we have paved for ourselves and letting that carry us into the new year and propel us into amazing progress forward. So that's where the pressure is. It's because we've all done the work, we've all done the things that we know we need to do to prep, and then we're just in this waiting game. We have to wait for the rest of the energy to evolve. And it's important for us to really make sure that we follow our intuition through it in every step, because there's so many subtle energies, there's so many things that are kind of starting to speak to us on many different levels of our experience, whether it's physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, whether it's in work life, family life, love life, spiritual growth. We're noticing all these different things that are subtly shifting in our life and in our world, and our intuition is going to be the best guide for us to get through that and stay on the path we've paved for ourselves. So make sure you're going within, you're asking your guides for more information. If you're feeling like you need more guidance or clarity or validation, ask your guides for the signs that you want, ask for the guidance that you need, and then trust it when it comes. Trust yourself when you feel an impulse and an answer that comes from what you've asked. Trust the synchronicities that show up and tell you that yes, this is the way to move, or this is what you want to do next. Trust the amazing wisdom that you get from a friend or from these readings that validate something that you are already feeling within yourself. These are the signs, these are the intuitive hits that are really going to help you feel more into your alignment. And this is the most important thing for this 12 energy. Now, we are in the 12 energy, of course, with the 12th month of the year, December. Remember, December is the month of stagnation, which was the card that I pulled in the beginning of the year when I did the annual reading for 2020 and pulled a card for every month. December's card was stagnation, and so we are meant to be in a little bit of a limbo, a little bit in a waiting game. We're meant to be taking things a little slow, and it's okay to feel a little stagnant. Trust that it is actually what we need right now, okay? Now, with that 12 energy, we're also feeling the 12-12 portal that was just yesterday on 12/12/2020. Now, the 12-12 portal is all about this stepping into the next, taking the next step, moving into the next step, stepping into the next phase and chapter of our life, and unifying with that energy, really allowing ourselves to bring in the energy we want to bring in with us, like not necessarily our old energy, but bringing in our present energy into the future energy and taking that step forward. So it is going to feel a little weird. It is going to feel a little bit off sometimes when we're stepping into things that are new. Even though we're meant for those things, it's something that can feel a little bit just scary or just uncomfortable. So let that be part of your grace in just knowing that. Now, this 12-12 portal that started yesterday is really helping us accelerate into our future from where we're at presently. And so we want to do a lot of intention setting. We want to meditate on our vision of our future. We want to speak that future into existence by speaking positively about what we see for our future and what we want for our future. We want to embody it by living the life that we choose, that we want to live, by inviting more of that type of life into our experience, and by having faith and power in our ability to manifest it through balance. through balance of our duality, which is something that we were also recognizing in November. Balance in duality, this ability to really see both sides of things. Remember that Scorpio energy was really strong in that deep underworld shadow work aspect, so we could see both sides of ourselves and find ways to take both in with grace into our future. Now, we're going to continue doing this. I am doing a shadow work series on my OnlyFans page. I'm also doing a starseed series on my OnlyFans page, which is also really powerful. And then I'm also doing an Own Your Story series on my OnlyFans page. These are all really, really powerful content that is going to bring you into more appreciation of all of these aspects of yourself, of the multidimensionality of yourself, this ability to understand your shadow, to embrace your shadow, to work through your shadow, to heal some parts of the shadow that are in excess, and then this ability to explore your starseed abilities, your cosmic awareness, your cosmic gifts, your ability to connect to your galactic families. And then the Own Your Stories is all about really embracing your unique natural self. We had that card, Nature, last week, really allowing you to tap into your essence, your true energy, and your true path, and to own exactly who you are and all of your unique beauty, and to let that really help you propel into the new future ahead. So these are really great ways for you to tap in, to go within, to activate more of this portal energy, to help step you into a higher vibrational future, and to really just give you more support through the transition so that you don't feel like you're doing it all alone, okay? Now, the next message is about things that are clashing and kind of crashing into each other. And there is a lot of that happening because we're creating a new future, we're stepping into a new page in our book, we're letting go of some of the present stuff that is not really meant to come with us into the future. And in that, we're recognizing those things through things that are clashing, that are not really working or aligning as much as they used to. And that is our sign that this is something needs to be broken open, something needs to be broken apart, something needs to be, kind of cleared in order for the new energy to come in. And so some of that means breaking things open, your heart space, breaking your heart open, and maybe feeling like very heartbroken, but needing that heartbreak in order to see what's been in your heart that you've been holding within and not letting yourself see, the hidden parts of ourselves, right? Sometimes it's clashing in connections with others and recognizing what's under the surface there, what are the roots, what are the undertones of that actual energy, and what is the undertones of the situation at hand, and how can you clear it, right? And sometimes it's this clashing and breaking apart of plans or goals that you thought were actually in alignment for you but are actually not, and being able to see everything that's there so that you can recognize and create a better plan. So if there's a lot of things clashing and crashing around and feeling a little bit chaotic in your life right now, know that those things are being broken open and brought to your attention for a reason, and see if you can ask your guides or just ask your own intuition, identifying it through your own reflection. What are these things trying to say? Why is it important for me to reflect on the depths of what's here in this situation? Why is this thing being brought to my attention, broken up, and kind of clashing so that I can see it? What am I really meant to see here, and how can I move through it with grace? So that's really the biggest questions you want to ask yourself this week. Now the next message is about, and I'm sorry, let me finish that too by saying that this is also about exposing deep lessons and truths. So you can ask yourself, okay, what deep lessons am I meant to learn from this experience? What deep truths am I meant to see from this experience about myself, about others, about the energy, about the circumstance, about how I'm moving through things, all of that, okay? And the next message is about home. Home is where our heart is. I had a beautiful conversation with my dear friend Leslie this weekend about our heart is our treasure, and both of these kind of messages, home is where the heart is and our heart is our treasure, is a very powerful energy that we are tapping into right now. Our heart is really such a powerful and beautiful essence of ourselves. It is exactly what we are meant to cherish most, I feel, because it is our conscious compass. It is what brings us into our true divine path. It's our connection to the divine, our gateway to the divine. It's our gateway to our ability to manifest in so many ways. Yes, there's other chakras involved and other elements of our being involved, but the heart is really the core. It is the heartbeat of it. And so when we feel into where our heart is and where we feel most aligned in our heart space, whether it's a location, whether it's with a certain person or a certain group of people, or doing a certain passion of ours, or doing a certain soul work, our heart is where that thing, where we feel, where our heart feels most comfortable. Our home is where our heart feels most comfortable. So ask yourself, where does my heart feel most comfortable? What location, what people around can I surround myself with where my heart feels most comfortable? What things am I doing that make my heart feel most comfortable? My expression, how am I expressing, and what ways that I express make my heart feel most comfortable. Because when you can feel into that, you'll recognize where your home vibration is, where your home kind of connection is to your divine essence, and you can actually keep creating that environment, that interaction, that circumstance, that energy to build more momentum and energy in your heart, because your heart is the treasure and you want to treat it like the treasure. You don't want to expose your heart to places or things that feel foreign or uncomfortable or just out of alignment or opposing to your energy. You want to move where your heart is calling you to move, where your heart is magnetizing you to. So feel into that. Ask yourself, where is the home for my heart? Where is my heart most comfortable? And reconnect to the divine through your heart if you're feeling lonely, because if you're feeling alone or just your heart is feeling kind of isolated, know that you can connect to your divine home, which is source, which is the eternal light that is within us, and you can always connect to that through your heart. So feeling into your heart, maybe you don't know where the home for your heart is, maybe you don't know where your heart feels most comfortable, or you don't have a reference for that, then this is a great practice to feel into your heart and to ask your heart, where would you like to be most comfortable? Where would you like to connect, and how would you like to connect in this world to be most comfortable? And then call in your guides, call in your divine spirit team, because they will surround you and remind you that your heart is the gateway to the divine, you're never alone, and that your heart is also home right there with them. All right, so how are we all feeling through these messages? I've got a couple more spirit messages to share, and then we're going to get into the astrology messages, which is going to cover our beautiful new moon in Sagittarius, solar eclipse tomorrow. Super, super exciting for that. I see that we've got a lot of Sages joining today for the season, so happy birthday, Sages, and also super exciting for this new moon. I know it's like the last week of the Sag energy with a new moon. That's kind of been the bizarre aspect of 2020 with our new moon energies coming after most of the season is already over, but such an interesting way that we can recognize how the energy and timelines are shifting in that way, where we're almost kind of always catching up to the energy that is there, right? So this next message is all about that. It's about the big shifts in our time-space reality, in our consciousness. And we're really in the place of preparation right now, where we all know that there's a big shift coming. We all know that we've got a big star alignment and planetary alignment coming up in December. We all can feel that the 3D consciousness is dissolving even more than it ever has, and that we're stepping more into the 5D consciousness. We're in a place of deep, deep connection to our next steps, and we can really feel the buildup of energy as we start to manifest that life, and as we start to feel our soul work kind of elevating and surfacing and showing us our true path. You know, we're seeing these big shifts. We even know that the age of Aquarius is upon us, and we're noticing how that is shifting all of our energy into deeper connection to spirit, deeper connection to our intuition, deeper connection to our unique gifts, deeper connection to all the ways that we can explore our multidimensional selves in reality. So all of this is super exciting, and you can do all your own research on this by looking up the Carrington event, looking up 5D and 3D consciousness, looking up the age of Aquarius. and all of that, okay? So I encourage you to do your research on that, because these are things that I've been watching and observing for years. I've had messages and visions and premonitions about these shifts, and these are also things that I'll be sharing on my OnlyFans page as well. I know I've already mentioned some other things I'm sharing, so you'll definitely be able to have access to my OnlyFans. I'll put the link in the description below so you guys can access it. That is going to be a really great place to dive into more deep and specific and even kind of esoteric content on there, things that I don't share all publicly because it's got more specified information for people who are really wanting to dive deeper. And so that'll be a really great way for you guys to tap into some of those messages and visions that I've seen before. So I'll be posting those soon, but you can also go check out the series I've already posted on the OnlyFans, because it's been really, really fun to share some deeper explanations of all this energy for those who are ready for it. Now, with this big shift that we're feeling and all the ways that they're coming through this year, it's about preparing. And the biggest way to prepare is to raise your vibration, okay? Raise your vibration. Now, there's a few ways that I have highlighted here on how to raise your vibration. The first one is the Hermit card that we felt last week. That's about going within and allowing ourselves to gain wisdom from going within, so that we can use that wisdom and intuition to calmly and gracefully navigate our future experience. So not letting outside influence affect our inner intuition. So that's why we want to go within and take a little time to ourselves in order to do so, okay? Now, the meditation aspect of raising our vibration is huge. This helps incredibly with intuition development, but also any other types of intuition development is incredibly important, whether it's through getting yourself an intuitive coach. I'm one of them, so if you want that or need that, reach out to me. I'm happy to help you develop your intuition and intuitive gifts. Or whether it's to do more specified intuitive practices on your own as you connect and ask for more guidance from your guides, using tarot cards or different kind of divinity tools, any kind of way that you can tap into your subconscious self through that intuitive development is going to be huge for you in raising your vibration, because in that energy you're connecting to source, you're learning how to connect to source, and you're really tapping into this limitless availability to it, which instantly raises your vibration. Clean eating, fasting, clean everything, whether it's clearing alcohol and substances from your lifestyle, whether it's clearing toxic foods, or just genetically modified foods, or even dairy or meat from your body and your lifestyle. Whatever it is that you feel like you're being called intuitively to clean up bodily, as far as your lifestyle, your dietary restrictions, what you eat, what you drink, what you consume, that will absolutely raise your vibration. And then any type of body care, whether it's getting Reiki, energy cleanses. I offer energy cleanses as well, so if you're interested in the chakra balancing or a tone frequency activation cleanse or anything like that, you can reach out to me for that. Any kind of Reiki, any kind of energy cleanse, any kind of cleansing or detox of the body as well. Any kind of body care in regards to working out or getting a massage or going to the spa, whatever you're feeling called to do for your body, going to the doctor, making sure you're healthy, attending to things that you've been having symptoms for that you've maybe been ignoring, or pains and aches that you've been ignoring, making sure you're honoring your body and taking care of that stuff. All of that is super, super important, okay? Now, you also want to do the cleansing and healing work. So some of this means different things. We've got healing, which is all about going within and kind of amplifying an understanding of our emotional body and how to clear trauma, how to clear pain, how to clear things that we've had built up in our feeling and our energy and our aura for a while. Whether it's resentments or anger or toxic thoughts or lack mentality, we want to heal that stuff and we want to cleanse it out of our aura. Same thing with toxic relationships or toxic belief systems. We want to heal and cleanse that. We want to heal our inner child, and we want to cleanse any parts of ourselves that are clinging to toxic aspects of life or energy, shadow work, things like that. And to end it, that's what I ended it with, to raise our vibration, is shadow work, to really clear any parts of ourselves that we've been trying to hide away and making sure that we bring it to our surface. Because shadow work is not only about clearing toxic energy from ourselves, but it's also about facing the things we've been hiding away or rejecting or trying to pretend like we didn't really want or feel or experience in our life, and instead bringing that to the surface to get a good look at it, so that we're not just, you know, throwing sweeping things under the rug and letting that build up into something we end up tripping over in our life, right? So all of these things are great to raise your vibration. That was a quick and easy kind of list of things to raise your vibration that will really, really help you all during this week. Now, the last spirit message that I want to mention is to notice the samsara. Samsara is the illusions of the matrix, the illusions of our external reality, the illusions in our life. And these are the things that just don't really matter. And when you recognize these samsara aspects of our life, and that actually the entire world, our entire reality in this physical realm is an illusion, it is a samsara, we start to not take things so seriously or have them feel so stressful or have them create such pressure on us that it overwhelms us and numbs us or completely just paralyzes us in what we're doing. Now, the samsara is so powerful for us to recognize. And these are the minor upsets, the distractions, the frustrations that don't even influence us, but that we allow to influence us because we're assuming that it's reality. We're assuming that this is absolutely something that we are, you know, tied to, that we are defined by, and that's just not true. So notice the illusions in your life, notice the samsara moments, notice those things, and trust that the illusions, once we can be aware of them, will simply start to have less influence on us because we're recognizing that they just don't matter. And then we can move into more connection with our reality, our natural selves, and our natural essence, okay? So those are all the spirit messages so far. How are we all feeling? Thank you, Leslie, for the super chat donation. Thank you, Simple Goddess, for the super chat donation. You all are so, so, so sweet. Oh my gosh, yeah. And anybody who wants a reading on anything, definitely reach out. I definitely encourage you to not put all your business on the chat, but it's your prerogative, love. But if you want a reading, feel free to reach out. You can do readingsbyrissa@gmail.com, and you can schedule your reading that way. I also put the link in the description for all of my readings if you want a reading on anything at all in your personal life, okay? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and hide that because that's a little bit much. Okay, so anyway, guys, with all of that being said, I'm super excited to see all of you on here on the chat. Thank you, Kayla, for the compliment about my haircut. It feels so good to have my hair shorter and to let go of the old and step into the new. So good to see all of you. Rebecca's here. We've got Simple Goddess here. You're so beautiful too, love. Kayla, of course. Leslie, of course. So good to see all of you. Kevin's here as well. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, you guys. So let's go ahead and keep going. I want to tap into the astrology before we pull cards for the rest of the reading. And the astrology is really powerful, okay? We're really connecting to some cosmic magic this week. And of course, like I said, it started with the 12/12 portal yesterday, where we're tapping into some really deep activations for our progressive movement forward. And that is going to propel us all the way through 12/21, which is the solstice. 12/21 is the winter solstice, which is exactly what we're going to be really feeling, that cosmic alignment and those really intense shifts that are coming up as well. So let's go ahead and go over that. So the 12/12 portal, a couple of other things I want to mention with this cosmic energy that we're currently in until the 21st is that this is about prosperity. We're going to step into a lot of prosperity with this 12/12 portal, but we have to have faith that we can step into it. And this is a transitionary period for all of us. Light workers, people who are, you know, normally doing their normal work in the matrix, anywhere you're at in your consciousness, in your vibration, in your spiritual growth, you're going through some kind of transition in your life right now, and it's definitely impacting you. And this is something that we want to focus on in a positive mentality. We want to think positively, we want to speak positively, we want to speak from a place of faith and trust that we are going to achieve all that we desire, and we want to speak and experience this through a balanced energy. And we want to make sure we stay balanced. We don't want to let ourselves get overwhelmed. We don't want to let ourselves get underwhelmed and stagnant. We don't want to let ourselves get excessive in, do and not going within. So we want to keep balanced in external and internal experience and all the other ways that we can stay balanced in our life, masculine and feminine, and all of that. Okay, so make sure you're stepping into balance. Make sure you're focused on prosperity. Make sure you're walking in a faith mentality and a faith embodiment as well. Now, then we are going to have that 12/21, which will be the end of the 12/12 portal, and that's going to be our winter solstice. That's where we're going to feel a lot of shifts from the energy of, kind of the fall and that like harvest season and reaping the benefits of what we've sown and kind of planting new seeds. And then the winter is going to be this energy of kind of that limbo still, a little bit of waiting, but also starting to really do the work to get those seeds to get ready and primed and ready to grow for the spring. So we're in a really beautiful place of transition with that as well. And of course, we'll talk more about the winter solstice next Sunday for our weekly reading at 1:11 p.m. Central, as always. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is this Jupiter-Saturn conjunction that is also going to be happening on the 21st. And this is something that is huge. This is where we're going to be lining up our awareness and maturity of the lessons that we've gained and allowing ourselves to kind of plan for more prosperity based on those things. And so this is going to be so interesting for us to experience right when the new year is starting to come into our experience as well. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that Jupiter-Saturn conjunction next week as well, but I wanted to give you all a little insight about it so you can notice, because Jupiter is influencing us by encouraging us to expand our horizons, by expanding our ideas of prosperity, expanding our mind, expanding our intelligence, our skill sets, even our businesses or our friend groups or whatever it is. We're kind of just we're expanding right now, and Jupiter's calling us to expand. But then Saturn is deeply influencing us as well by saying, hey, are you mature enough for this expansion? Check yourself on these lessons that you're supposed to learn in order to do good through this expansion, to move through it with ease and grace. Learn how to be fully aware of all of the responsibilities that you're signing up for in this expansion, and make sure you rise to the occasion and step up where you need to. So Saturn and Jupiter are doing this thing where we're kind of expanding, and then we're checking ourselves, and then we're expanding and checking ourselves, and really making sure we're making the right moves. So this is definitely affecting us in a lot of some of that stress and like just some of those initial discussions about the pressure that we've been under. So just know that that's part of the planetary alignment as well, and that it will kind of be a little easier to digest and a little easier to adapt to once we go into that winter solstice next week. So let's go ahead now and talk about the new moon in Sagittarius. This is a solar eclipse, and it's happening tomorrow, 12/14, and this is going to be a powerful new fresh start, and it's a fiery fresh start. This is a fire sign. Sagittarius is definitely such a fiery energy, and it's giving us this sensation of passion and exhilaration and enthusiasm that will help propel us into this next chapter in our life. Of course, we know that new moons are always fresh starts, ways to set new intentions and step into new energy. And so this Sagittarius energy with the solar eclipse, so the solar eclipse is highlighting our personality, it's highlighting our action steps, it's highlighting our confidence and our courage to move forward, and then the Sagittarius is creating such fire. So let's talk a little bit more about the fire of the Sagittarius. Now, Sagittarius have a tendency to kind of create a facade of joy when they're going through something. So sometimes they'll seem really great and really happy and really joyful and social on the outside, but actually deep down they're going through something pretty intense. And so sometimes we can be feeling that through this new moon. We might be feeling like, we're really kind of having to put our face on and put a smile on even though we might not be feeling it deep inside because we're under all of that pressure, right? And really noticing if we're covering up some deep stress or pain, and making sure that if we are, it's okay if we're doing it, you know, because we're in a professional setting or because we have to show up for what we're doing today, but make sure that you're holding space for yourself, or making sure you get space held for you on the back end of it when you have time, when you can kind of tuck yourself away and be able to let that deep stress or pain out so that you don't stuff it down. So making sure that you do the self-care, that you do the intuitive work, that you meditate, that you talk to a friend, or just get a nice comforting embrace. Those things really help to let some of that stuff out that you might be covering up because of the Sagittarius energy, or just because that's what your personality is. But the Sagittarius new moon is definitely kind of influencing us in that way, where we're having a hard time expressing our deep truths or our deep pains or stresses, and we're kind of covering it up with this joyful facade. So just make sure you don't fall into that pattern to the point of just not actually getting the space held for that energy and stress that you're under. Now, the fiery fresh start, again, this is such a powerful message for the Sagittarius new moon. This is an intense, fast-paced, sometimes chaotic, passionate, and sometimes scary, but very enthusiastic shift from the Sagittarius energy that we're experiencing. So this is causing big shifts in our life. Remember, we talked about making big life decisions a couple of weeks ago. We've been talking about seizing the moment as well. And the Sagittarius energy is doing the work to help us do so, and to light the fire under us in order to actually do it. Because some of us need that fire in order to really do the work to step out of our comfort zone, or to make the move that our spirit wants us to make to propel us into our prosperous new chapter in our life, because we're scared. So we need that little fire to push us into it. So use that for what it is, appreciate it for what it is, however it's showing up in your life right now. Now, another thing with the Sagittarius new moon is that it can express itself in social extremes. This is where we can either be isolating or almost kind of connecting with so many people that we're forgetting what's really going on inside. So make sure that you pay attention to how your social interactions are going, and if you're doing any extremes in either direction, to balance that out appropriately, because that can be something that ends up kind of tripping us up later. You know, if we're not following our intuition because we're connecting with everybody outside of us so much that we forget what our true wants and desires are, what our true intuition is guiding us on, or if we're isolating so much that we are not even taking into account other energy, or considering other people around us, or considering other things in our experience that are important to consider. That both of those can be toxic if we allow them to be. So just make sure you're in a balance, and you're noticing any social extremes from the Sagittarius new moon. And then using life lessons for positive progress and prosperous progress. That's another thing that the Sagittarius new moon is helping us with. So reflect on the way in which you've learned lessons recently, and reflect on how you can apply those lessons and how you can embody those lessons to help you move forward with prosperity and positivity. And then accurate manifestation is huge right now. The Sagittarius has the arrow, the bow and arrow, and it's directly aimed at its goal. And it's accurate, it's direct, and this is really allowing us to go after our direct and specific desires. So get specific on your intentions with this new moon. Really allow yourself to point that arrow and aim where you want to go. See yourself there, imagine yourself there, and really feel into what you need to get there, and just go after it. That's what the Sagittarius is urging us to do right now. So trust that and do it. Just do it. Just go after it, and don't resist. Don't let yourself second guess, but just keep moving forward. You know, of course, we want our intuition to validate us. We want to have those signs to trust on those big life decisions. So if you're in that mode of energy too, make sure you're asking for the signs that you need. Make sure you're calling on your guides to give you even more validation. Make sure you're tapping into your intuition regularly to notice if anything shifted in the timeline from yesterday. So allow yourself to really pay attention to that stuff, because your intuition and intuition development is absolutely your best friend right now. It is your best survival skill through these transformations on a mass collective scale as well. And then finally, stay positively guided. This is all about freedom, humor, trust, and playfulness. The Sagittarius brings in all of that. It brings in this positivity. It brings in freedom. It wants to be free. It wants to be able to choose its path, and it enjoys that. It also loves to laugh and be playful and enthusiastic with things. And it also has this appreciation of unity consciousness, the appreciation of all things being connected, of all things being important, of nothing being good or bad or right or wrong, but instead of all things being significant. So honor the unity consciousness of all things that you're experiencing, and honor the way that you can tap into more unity consciousness through your reflection of what you're experiencing, because that will also be such a beautiful way to activate the energy of this new moon in Sagittarius tomorrow. And another way to activate the energy of the new moon in Sagittarius tomorrow is to have a beautiful conscious conversation with Chad and I about the new moon. We will be going live on my Instagram at Readings by Rissa tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central Time, and that's 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And that will be a really great way for us to all chat about how the new moon is affecting us. Of course, for those of you who've already watched those lives, you know that Chad is my love, and we have been doing these moon talks for a while, talking about the masculine and feminine perspective of the energy of the moon, but also just having a really nice balanced perspective on the moon. I'm definitely the spiritualist and the airy one, and he's got more of that practical, logical way of looking things, a little bit more grounded, but also very reflective of all the amazing ways that we kind of navigate through things. So that's a really great way to tap in and to just have a little community to celebrate your new moon in Sag with. So definitely join us tomorrow on my Instagram at Readings by Rissa, 7 p.m. Central Time, right there live for the Sagittarius new moon. Okay? So those are all of my astrological messages. We covered all of my spirit messages for this week, 12/13 to 12/20. Let me know how all of you are feeling. I know there's been tons of comments about all sorts of things. We've got Kayla talking about her cutting her hair after doing the cord plucking ceremony that we had. So amazing. And I will be offering the cord plucking ceremonies for the rest of the year. So I'll be putting those up on my schedule as well for all of those who need that. And I'll also be posting probably another 6-month forecast reading special. So I'll be doing that soon. So be on the lookout for that. I'll probably post the flyer in the community section of this YouTube channel. So make sure you're checking that out regularly. I'll also be posting it on my Instagram, and I'll be chatting with you about it probably next week as well. Okay? And let's see, yeah, everybody stay cool, surf the energy, so much fun. Love it, Kevin. Thank you so much. I totally agree with you. So good to have all of you joining in today. I love how Simple Goddess talks about the hermit, going within, gaining wisdom from within to calmly, gracefully navigate your experience. Yes, you are hearing me loud and clear. Thank you all for listening, for connecting, and for joining me. Let's go ahead and pull some cards to end everything out, and we will finish this out. And yes, the letting go. And you guys, for those of you who don't know about the letting go workshop, the letting go workshop I hosted, I think it was like a year and a half ago, or maybe, yeah, a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years now. And a really powerful workshop, and so many people joined for that and gained so much. And I have set that letting go workshop up for a package, so I'll be posting that soon, where you can actually just purchase the letting go workshop, work it through on your own, and I'll probably be doing more group ones as well. So I'll be inviting all of that stuff back in very, very shortly for us all as well. All right, so we've got the beginning of the week card with our Healing with the Angels deck. This is the Lantern deck. Love this deck. It's one of my newest ones. And we've got our middle of the week card there. And let's go ahead and do our weekend card with the Mary Magdalene Oracle deck. So powerful with that divine feminine energy guiding us. And then we will pull a moon card, which I'm feeling will be the Angels of Atlantis for that new moon in Sag. And they gave it to me right away. Okay. First card, forgiveness. This is something that we really want to step into for releasing pressure. If we have been hard on ourselves or hard on others because of the stress and pressure that we're under, make sure we're taking time to forgive the situation, forgive the people involved, and forgive ourselves, because forgiveness creates a distraction and a drainage of our energy. So even if what you feel like happened was not okay and maybe doesn't deserve forgiveness, just give forgiveness anyway. Get into a place where you can be in a state of forgiveness, because it actually benefits you so much more to step into forgiveness so that you're not attached to all this tension and anger and resentment that is actually weighing you down and draining your energy. So step into forgiveness for the beginning of the week to clear excess pressure that is unnecessary, okay? And recognizing that everybody's going through shifts on their own and dealing with it in their own way. So if you're mad at somebody for the way they've done something, or the way they've reacted, or they've expressed something, or you're mad at a situation, pay attention to the factors involved and notice that if there's been some changes that's happened in that energy that have maybe caused those reactions that are out of nature, out of normal expression, and be compassionate and kind. That includes with yourself as well. Wow, the next card is so beautiful. It's the Inner Integration card. I've never pulled this card from the Lantern deck. What a beautiful card. I'm going to read the message for you. And the card says, there is peace, equilibrium, and fulfillment in integrating the inner wild with the taming and tempering effect life has on us. So this is beautiful, really recognizing the inner wild, integrating it with taming the tempering effect that life has on us. So this is about understanding the fire, the balance of fire within and the fire outside of us, recognizing that life does kind of create a balancing in our energy, whether we're internally on fire and in chaos and in stress, and then the external world brings us a relief from that, something allows us to step into more peace and grace, or whether it's the opposite, where we're feeling a lot of chaos outside of us, but then going within creates this ability to find us resolve, find grace, find balance. So let your inner integration activate this ability to gracefully work through the external, taming the tempering that life has on us, and letting the wild aspects of us, the passion, even the shadow aspects, letting them give us the wisdom we need to find balance in our situations. All right, end of the week card is past lives. So we are being called to tap into our past lives, to explore our past lives, and to understand what messages are available to us that our past lives want to share to help us make those positive and progressive movements forward in our journey, in our year, and into next year. So if you've been curious about a past life reading, you've been wanting that, and you've been feeling called to it, this is a great time to do it. And it's something that I also offer. So if you are interested in that, I will also put my link in the description for all of the readings that I offer, the cord plucking, the energy balancing and cleansing, the past life readings. I do general readings as well, all of that. So you can have access, cosmic connection readings, all of that. So you can go ahead and schedule your reading if you're feeling called to past life stuff, because I know a lot of people have been getting past life readings and they've been getting some really powerful realizations about their soul and their soul journey from it, and it can be so validating. All right, our moon card from the Angels of Atlantis deck for the new moon in Sag is abundance, and we've been talking about it. We've got Bernie excited too about abundance. It's so exciting. This is such a powerful card. This is the card of positive, progressive, and prosperous movement forward. We talked about this all reading. So this is just a validation that the Sagittarius new moon is a fiery fresh start for activating more abundance. Trust that there is abundance flowing into your life. Trust that it's going to continue to, and trust that the more you stay positively aligned to it, the more you will bring it in. Keep your vibration high. Make sure you're accessing all parts of yourself through your intuition and inner knowing, and keep moving through all of this energy, letting the fire do its work to move you into this amazing new chapter that we are stepping into for the new year. I love you all so much. I'm so grateful for all of you. Thank you for all the super chat donations. Thank you for connecting with me every week here on my weekly readings at 1:11 p.m. Central Time, whether they're recorded or whether they're live. I'm just grateful that you all always tap in and connect to this Web of Light community we've been building. And if you're interested in any coaching, if you're interested in a reading, if you're interested in any kind of services at all for intuition development, reach out to me, readingsbyrissa@gmail.com, or click on any of the links below in the description that will lead you right to that stuff, okay? I can't wait to see all of you next week for the winter solstice reading and to talk about what the energy will be like for the holiday season, Christmas for those of you who are celebrating, and we'll also tap into some New Year stuff as well. This is going to be a really powerful next couple of weeks, so do not don't isolate, don't go away. This will be a time to tap in and tune in even more. All right, I love you all. Thank you for joining. Thanks for enjoying the beauty here in Jupiter, Florida. Thank you, Leslie and Stefan, for hosting such a beautiful place for me to do this reading. And I will talk to you all next week, next Sunday. I'll see you then. Peace.